If you're new to fasting, or maybe you've tried it before but you're struggling to see results, honestly, I'm not surprised. There is so much mixed information trying to sell you something. Fasting Tube is independent and focusing on real information. Let's get started with today's video.
The question, how does one's gut microbiome respond to fasting? Plainly put, it heals it. I can tell you for me, my gut health did a complete 180 because of intermittent fasting. Not even kidding when I say that intermittent fasting, water fasting, and the ketogenic diet completely changed my life. Back in January of this year I was 265 pounds. More than severely overweight, I was a cauldron of sadness, misery, and depression. I also had a lot of digestive problems such as constant heartburn, acid reflux, which for those who don't know, besides the uncomfortableness of your esophagus burning from the inside out, it's also impossible to sleep because it feels like someone poured sulfuric acid down your throat and it's slowly eating away at your insides as you try to sleep. Acid reflux, chronic constipation, problems with going to the bathroom regularly, chronic constipation, frequent stomach aches. I feel like I was in a prison of my own body. And being 265 pounds was not helping one bit. I was cutting calories, working out like crazy and also trying all these bullshit diets and nothing seemed to work. I don't know how but I stumbled upon intermittent fasting, but I'm glad I did. I started off slow and slowly started closing my feeding window. So I would wake up at 9 a.m. and instead of eating right away, like I always would, I would eat nothing and only drink water. Then by 12 p.m. I was starving. So I would finally eat. And it was weird because for as hungry as I was, I somehow seemed to eat less than I normally do, and got fuller quicker. Nothing. I somehow seemed to eat less than I normally do. And then, I would give myself until 12 a.m. to eat whatever I wanted, so a 12-hour fasting window, 12-hour eating window. Scale didn't move too much but I was definitely losing inches and shrinking. Even thought I wasn't necessarily changing my diet at the time. As time went on, I got less and less hungry in the morning, so I would just shorten the window even further as I felt comfortable. So in keeping with the above example, I would wake up at 9 a.m. and then have my first meal at 2 p.m. and then stop eating at 12 a.m. So a 14-hour fasting window. 10-hour eating window. I did that for about 2 weeks or so, and slowly but surely I really noticed a difference in my digestive issues. I was still eating like shit, mind you. But just within a few weeks of doing intermittent fasting, I noticed my heartburn wasn't as intense and my acid reflux wasn't as strong. And on top of everything, I was certainly feeling much better. Still had depression and anxiety but it didn't seem as strong. And I was legit shrinking. I could really see it in the mirror and the way my clothes were fitting me. So I kept going. I remembered I was looking things up on about intermittent fasting and I saw that people often used it with something called the ketogenic diet. And I thought, oh great, another bullshit diet. But as I read about it and watched all these videos on it, I saw that it was really super simple and that it was just basically a diet of keeping your sugar and carbs low. So I said, what the hell, let me try it for a week. So I did. I had stayed with intermittent fasting and had worked my way to only eating between the hours of 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., so 18-hour fasting window, 6-hour eating window. And in that 6-hour feeding window, I ate things that are within the foul poles of the ketogenic diet like ribeye steak, salad, chicken, avocados, butter, peanut butter, cheese, bacon, etc. And that's when things started changing. First of all, I noticed immediately that I felt fantastic. I mean, better than I had ever felt in my life. And I immediately noticed all of my digestive issues seemed to practically disappear overnight. No more heartburn. No more acid reflux. No more random stomach aches. No bloating. And fat just started melting off my body. I lost 15 pounds in the first month. All of my digestive issues seemed to practically disappear overnight. And the thing that really blew me away was my depression and anxiety that I had battled my entire life was really starting to fade. It was still there to some degree, but it was like someone crawled inside my head and turned down the volume on my depression. So when I did have those negative thoughts, it was so much easier to dismiss them. And the things that really used to stress me out, bother me before, now hardly even affected me. And if I had a stressful moment, I could easily let it go, whereas before I might ruminate about it for days and or possibly weeks. Fast forward to where we are now, July 2018, and I'm down 53 pounds and I feel absolutely incredible. I can admit from the outside looking in, that this all sounds like pie-in-the-sky bullshit, that my gut healed and my depression and anxiety magically disappeared by lowering my sugar and carbs, but I'm telling you, that was exactly what happened when I maintained a diet of low sugar and low carbs. Because I'm telling you, there really is a way out. There really is a way out. I didn't realize it at the time, but with all of the sugar and carbs I had been bombarding my body with over the years, I had a huge overgrowth of bad bacteria in my gut, which not only was lending itself to all of my digestive problems, but was also playing a major role in exacerbating my depression and anxiety. Joe Rogan and his guest talk about the science behind it is here. Watch it. It will open your eyes in a major way. With all of the sugar and carbs I had been bombarding my body with over the years, I had a huge overgrowth of bad bacteria in my gut. So where I'm at today is, I kept my sugar low, keep it under 20 grams a day. I kept my net carbs low, keep them under 40 grams a day. I drink water, no diet soda, no alcohol. And if you're out there reading this, don't kid yourself into thinking that diet soda is healthy. Not only is it making you fatter, but it's actually causing a huge overgrowth of bad bacteria in your gut, which in turn is also making your depression worse. I wake up every day at around 9 a.m. and I'm not even hungry in the slightest. And I usually eat between 6:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. And trust me, when I do eat, I am more than stuffed because 1. My stomach has shrunk so much from fasting, and 2. Fat fills you up. Your body knows what to do with fat and protein. That's been its currency for the past tens of thousands of years. Your body has no fucking clue what to do with Pringles or a bag of Doritos. No industry is going to come out and say any of this, because if they did, think about all the money that would be lost. Think about all the sugar-filled products that no one would buy. Think about all the companies that would go out of business. Think about all those people working in those factories who would suddenly be out of work. Think about all the pharmaceutical companies selling their anti-depression pills or anti-anxiety pills that would all go belly up because hardly anyone would need them. Not to mention hardly anyone would have diabetes or heart disease. I don't want to get too far in the weeds on this, but I'm just saying, take a step back and realize that somebody out there is making a lot of shit ton of money to keep you fat, sad, and depressed. So that's the lie they keep telling you. Calories in versus calories out. Sure, you can eat that chocolate chip double fudge brownie sundae on a honey-dipped fried donut covered in chocolate sauce. Just do it in moderation. Great. Why don't you just tell me to shoot up heroin in moderation while you're at it? Here's the bottom line. We weren't designed to take in all this sugar. You can't just eat all this sugar every day and think you can just lift some weights and you should be fine. Our bodies weren't designed to take in all of this sugar. All this constant sugar affects your mind. Here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. All this constant sugar affects your mind. Look, I'm not selling anything. I have no agenda. I'm just telling you what I wish somebody would have told me years ago. If you're having all these gut problems and you're also depressed, try keeping your sugar and carbs low. Try it for 2 weeks and see if the gut problems heal and if the depression lessens. And if you start to feel good, and I know you will, keep going. Don't stop. In fact, my body got so used to intermittent fasting that I got to the point that I wasn't even around dinner time. And on those days, I would do a water fast where I wouldn't eat anything for about 2,472 hours and only drink water. This is called a water fast, and if you want to know more about the tremendous benefits and exactly to do a water fast, check out this video I put together. And more than just digestion problems, if you are battling depression and or anxiety, listen to me. Before you go on any medication, first try lowering your sugar and carb intake. And do it for a couple of weeks and see how you feel. If you are battling depression and or anxiety, listen to me. Look into intermittent fasting. I put together this video on how to do intermittent fasting. It's 10 minutes. Watch it. Seriously. And the ketogenic diet. I put together this video on how to do the keto diet. It's about 10 minutes. Watch it. Seriously. If you're battling depression, just give it a few weeks. I promise you it will get better. It will get better. It's like riding a freight elevator up from hell. It's slow, but trust me, you will get there. And at some point you're gonna see that you're actually above your depression and anxiety, looking down over it. Does that make sense? Never in a million years I have thought I could heal my gut. I thought was doomed to deal with these digestive issues forever. And I thought this weight of depression and sadness was something I was gonna have to carry and deal with for the rest of my life. I'm just telling you, if you're out there battling these same things, seriously, there is a way out. Because I am living proof, it can be done.